For the thousands in attendance, for the millions watching at home, are you ready?
For what?
Are you ready for the damn best podcast show ever?
Bro, that's why I'm here, bro. What you mean? I've been ready for this shit.
We've been ready. I like that. It's going to be a good show.
I want to start off with this question.
All right.
Now that we're live. How was your experience working on your first music video?
Bro, my first music video. And it's been a wild ride, to be honest. It's very chaotic. Like, how long did it take us to film this? Like about like a month, right? Like more.
Probably like 2 months, maybe more.
Probably like a month and a half or something like that. But this experience has taught me a lot. One, I look back on some of the footage and I could tell that, I know more now. So I know like, hey, maybe next time I should probably, when filming behind the scenes stuff, probably I should record more in autofocus instead of manual.
It's too fast.
It's too fast. Yeah, I know. But honestly, I had a good time. Like, I had a good time, just seeing the process of just assembling everything. And I mean, we didn't have a budget. That's the crazy thing. We didn't have a budget. Usually, like, the traditional ways, you're supposed to, like, have a certain budget, but this time it's like everything just organically happened.
Yeah.
So that was really cool to see. It's just things just happening. I mean, we still had a plan. I mean, obviously we planned it out in some sort of way. Like, there was some structure, like, hey, we're filming this day, this time, bada bing, bada boom. And I liked it. I mean, I learned a lot and learned, the ins and outs of, how to work a camera and how to spot the best angles and just how to have, like, my eye for just capturing certain scenes just developed more. Mm-hmm. The more, I started filming and whatnot. So just seeing all that stuff, and definitely I'm proud that I actually got the chance to document all that stuff too. Yeah. So it's like I could look back on it. I'm like, oh, I remember this. I remember this scene. Like, it's just cool. And like all the footage that we have, bro, it's just insane.
Yeah, it's super dope. Like, I remember my first music video. I believe I barely made it last year, to be honest. Mm-hmm. I think I worked on some music videos maybe 2019 as, like, not my first directed, but just helped out, like, in camera or whatever. But
right, it's
always different. Every video that I've done is different.
Yeah.
And sometimes you shoot stuff with the artist, what they want to shoot. Yeah. Sometimes you guys do creative work together and figure out scenes. But yeah, you're right. Like, we didn't have a budget. We didn't really have a structure. We knew we wanted to incorporate the valley.
Bro, there has been so many ideas. We were like, we got to film this, but we ended up like filming something else. Yeah. Like, Mills wanted to film at Bob's Twin Kitchen, right? Mm-hmm. But we ended up like filming other stuff.
Yeah, like the skate park was not part of this video at all.
It wasn't.
We never planned to go to skate park. We planned to go to skate park for a vlog that we're working on, but we didn't think about it for the music video. But then we just kind of we made it happen,
It just organically happened, and I think when things organically happen like that, like, you can plan stuff out, but I think in general, like, and I'm not too sure if like most music videos are like this, but I think the best part of music videos is when they just happen, when things just start coming together and falling into place. I think that's when the best. And with this music video, it's the 760. It's literally the area code to this valley. So, by adding the skate park, it's like, bro, that's kind of part of this valley, man. Like, showcasing the talent.
Yeah, the kids and everything. It's it was like a grassroots movement. That's what, like, when you said we didn't have a budget, we didn't really plan it out. We just knew we wanted to have the valley in here.
We just used our surroundings,
different cities, different people that helped out. Definitely, we shot here at the food park. Shout out to the food park.
Shout out to
we shot to Crummy. Thanks to Crummy putting it out there, giving out the skateboards. We shot scenes that we wanted to shoot, but it came out different. Like, we saw a little bit of Luigi's in there. We went to Ciro's. I wanted to incorporate some small businesses, and I mean, they kind of provided it with a coolest shot by hooking us up with the cars, bro. Like, the whole car sequence was just amazing.
So was it Mills that ended up like knowing Darla? It was her name's Darla, right? Darla. Yeah. did she ended up like organizing the whole car thing?
Yeah, so every Sunday for a while, I think before it got hot,
Right.
on Sundays they would have something at Ciro's Pizza. So it would be like all those foods would show, like low riders, and they just hang out with their cars. Alfalfa used to play there on Sundays.
Okay.
And it was just part of their like Sunday meetup, like just to hang out, other like a car club, about foods.
Yeah.
But it was like I don't know. I'm pretty sure Mills did hit her up. I don't
Yeah.
remember how the conversation happened, but we're like, hey, let's see if we could shoot there with the lowriders.
Right.
So the plan was to shoot there with the lowriders. That's why the lowriders showed up to Ciro's, but just the parking lot was too full and we couldn't get a shot.
It was too narrow, and like the scenery wasn't. I don't know. It just felt clustered. So definitely like show. I mean, we still got Ciro's in there. We got the establishment shot there. We got Mills. Like with the pizza box.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, honestly, just Mills in general, his music's different. So, there's a certain energy that he brings into, just seeing him. Like, I've never seen Mills perform live before, but just seeing, him being in his element and, being him, through his music, it's like, I don't know. It's just like he just turns it on.
Yeah, it gives you like what do you call it? Like you feel his emotions, or just the words speak to you because you understand. I think that's one of the biggest things. Like you understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
Other rappers, they're like rapping super fast where you can't understand what they're saying. Mumble rapping, auto tune, and there's nothing wrong with that. But just like him, the stuff that he's speaking about, his flow, like he has like a mixture of like Kanye and Kendrick, like that storytelling aspect to it.
I showed my brother like his music, and he's like, "That fool sounds like Kendrick." It's like, what the? And then I showed it to a few of my friends. He's like, "Are you sure that's not Kendrick?"
No, it does. It sounds like a mixture of both, and
but
I think that's super
that's
cool.
a good thing though. I mean, it's a good thing in the sense of like he has some sort of sense of storytelling, which I actually like in his music. Like I don't know, this music video had me pumped because it's like we get to show the real Coachella Valley. Like 760 was like, damn, we get to showcase like the best parts of this valley. So how could we do it in the best way possible by showcasing the streets, the foods, the cars, the skaters, the establishments, the brands,
And there's a lot more to the valley that we didn't show in this video because
Obviously,
of course we couldn't get everything. But I like that we kind of kept it, like we shot in Cathedral City, we shot in Indio, and like places that don't get a lot of love because of course it's like Palm Springs or downtown Palm Springs or La Quinta or Indian Wells with all the money. But we kind of shot in places where I feel like we don't get represented enough when it comes to media. And that's what's like dope. Like I want to continue making videos here in the valley because we have such dope scenery.
Nah, bro, we
over here, no one's really making content like that.
We gotta set the bar. We gotta, if no one's doing it, we gotta do it. Because then other people might they might see this video and they're like, damn, they filmed this video with no budget. Like, bro, all we used were just simple locations. Like, honestly, like you didn't even add effects to this video.
I didn't add no effects. So one of the reasons I didn't want to add effects to this video was because one, we had so much footage, like, oh man, so much B-roll, so many amazing shots. I wanted to be more just on the shots, like
you
I
wanted
guess taking it back to old school ways, like back in the day, you shot what you shot, and then it was called the cutting board because you'll be cutting the film, stitching it together, like, you know what I mean. So I don't want to get all fucking bougie, but I want to shoot it more just like let the scenes speak for themselves. I like using effects, and I've used them in previous videos too, but it's just also I feel like this one didn't need it.
It's distraction. Like sometimes it's adding effects like distracts from the scene, or it takes away from the scene too much. Like I don't know. I see like with modern rap hip hop videos, like sometimes the effects are too much. Some like from up and coming artists, right? And like they'll be using effects, but it takes away from the video. Like
I think so too.
Like you shot at this cool place, and I want to see like, oh, like you shot behind a train or this car. Like let me see the car. Oh, but some weird effect took away from,
filters and neons. It's effects are cool for transitions between scenes and all that. Like you said, it's cool. Like some people make amazing films. Like shout out to My boy Jacob from Film Gold, bro. I don't know if I show you his videos, but he's probably like the best videographer. He's from the Valley. I think he lives in LA now. I'm not sure, but he makes amazing videos. Like his effects are crazy.
Okay.
And I think that's awesome too. Like music videos with effects when they're done for a purpose.
Right. Yeah.
But then up and coming, I've done that too. Like I over edit stuff all the time. But the podcast, I mean this music video. There's a lot of scenes and music videos from big artists that don't have effects because it's just a cinematic shot. Cool locations. They actually show them. Of course, they have big budgets where they have cars and mansions and models. And
right.
We don't have that stuff yet, but we still have the scenery and we got enough help from the community and other people that we didn't need to have those effects. So that's a big thing. Like we didn't need to have the effects. And I think the video just came out. It came out pretty cool.
It's the 760, man. Like I said, the purpose I think that we were trying to go for is just showcasing, like, the 760, like the different aspects of the valley as the best we could. So it wouldn't make sense to, showcase this awesome palm tree shot with, like, bro, you had the perfect sequence. Like that sequence that you had with Mills behind the cars and the palm trees and the sun.
Oh my God,
that's
right there in downtown India, bro. That shit was amazing.
You didn't need an effect for that, man. Like the scenery told in like itself.
Yeah.
The cars coming in, the foos, just in the back, like, bro.
We gotta get Foos Gone Wild, bro. Like I'm gonna hit them up on DMs. Send tag the video. I'm gonna tag them all.
When I saw them, like you just said the first day, like when we were shooting at Ciro's, I was like, wait, all these lowriders? What the heck? Bro, we got to get on Foos Gone Wild. Because I like, bro, you see a bunch of foos, and lowriders, like, bro, this is some Foos Gone Wild type shit. So I was like, man, we for sure got to get in.
I hit up, I'm going to hit them up. I'm going to tag them.
Yeah.
I have people tag them because sometimes they do repost.
Right.
When it comes to certain people, like just tagging them and it's like food culture shit.
Yeah.
So this is food culture shit, it's and I feel like there'll definitely be some trolling because Mills doesn't look like a fool and he's not rapping like a fool.
He looks so out of place. Bro.
But it also makes sense, like, for it to get some people talking online because it's like, this food looks out of place. The song doesn't match what you expect of somebody with the low riders, you know? But that's what's cool about India. Like, that's a culture we grew up. Like, you could hang out with, like, all these cholo foos, but it doesn't mean that you're a cholo fool. Like, I know a bunch of people like that growing up.
We grew up like around those kind of people. I mean, they're OGs at this point,
Yeah.
So it's like you run across them like hey, it's whatever. I mean, and that's what's cool about the valley too, is like it's so small to the point where it's like you kind of know everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
So we
gotta use those connections.
Yeah.
Just keep leveling up. A couple of people hit me up already that want music videos.
Oh, damn.
That we're talking about it, but I don't know what's the next one. I know we want to work for more videos for Mills. He wants to do Pink Motorola and I want to do Familiar Faces, bro. Like that's the best song he has, bro. That should be hard.
That's one of my favorite songs, and I told Mills too, like, hey, like honestly, bro, like I think it was just the timing. The timing when I heard that song, like, man, he lost his grandmother, and at that time too, like I lost my grandfather too, so it's like that song really like spoke to me.
Yeah,
it was like a tribute to her. It was cool. Like it's just the storytelling, man. His way of storytelling, it just speaks. It speaks to you. My other favorite song from him was Soul Glow 2 with Sammy.
Oh, that one's good. We could do that one too. I feel like that one we could do some kind of boxing scene, but we could talk about that one later. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's been a wild ride. I don't know how many music videos I've done. This is probably like,
you've done Billy's.
I've done like 10 maybe.
Really?
I don't know if you've seen all of them.
I've seen Billy's.
I know I did like 7 last year, and then this year I've done like 3 or 4. I did Anna V, Girl from the Heat.
Yeah.
The Billy Dell one, the other one for Mills, the No Angel, and this one. I think this is my 4th music video this year.
Okay.
I wanted to shoot. I think I said 10 was one of my goals for this year. I might end up. I don't know. We'll see. We still have a lot of time, and fall season is the best. Like we'll be able to work a lot more just because. During this whole music video we're shooting in the summer, it was hot as hell. Like the day we shot at the India Mall, when we shot the lowriders, bro. Oh my god, it was 100 degrees.
Like bottles, bro. Bottles. We were sweating. Like, man, We just went inside Ciro's just to like sit down and just cool off, man. It was a hot day that day too.
Yeah, my head was hurting, I think, because I was just sweating, bro. And I don't sweat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a good experience, but yeah, fall season, bro. There's gonna be hella events, music videos. Like we'll be doing a lot more, and I definitely want to start shooting genre music videos. Like, I told you, I guess, like for someone listening to this, but I want to shoot like a noir style music video. Mills wants to do like a horror style music video,
Okay.
and yeah, we could do a lot of different stuff. VHS like 90s style. We could do. I don't know. I'm excited. I want to do some research and see what video we do next. But
what's your process like having these ideas when making music videos? Do you just like think on the fly? Do you just like have these different concepts between like genres? Like, oh, like what's the song? Like, do you listen to the song first and then get a feel like, oh, this would be cool? Like, what's your process when making music
so
videos?
far, yeah, well, I definitely listen to the song first.
Okay.
Just to get a feel what it is, like the subject matter. But most of the time, I talk to the artist and what they want to do because it's their vision, you know, like is their song. Get an idea of what they want.
Right.
So I did one where they're like, oh, we want to do a party scene and this and that. When they were going to a party, it was Billy Dale's actually Quarantine Vibes last year.
Yeah.
That was cool. So we just like, we need to get pool shots. We need to get pool shots of like party vibes. People, he brought in a bunch of money, shit like that. It's just getting the overall feel of the song and the beat that it drops. Like, for example, you have a cool intro. Like, the intro is always going to be B-roll to establish the song. Yeah. So if you're going to do 5 scenes, let's say there's a scene at a bar, a scene at a pool, there's a scene in a hotel room, whatever. You're going to have those scenes throughout the song. But in the intro, you got to have everything. There's some intros that are kind of like mysterious, where it's like a panning shot. Those are more high budget, like one take, like a cool fucking drone shot, transitions to like a scene. But I feel like when you're a small artist and people are not gonna watch right away, like you gotta get people's attention. Yeah. So the first few beats before the song starts, you want to show everything, show everything that's gonna happen, kind of like a teaser, like a trailer before the video starts, and then you start off. The next thing I do is once we record the song, we know that we're going to go shoot at this location. I like to do at least 2, sometimes 3 or 4 takes of him performing the whole song. And what I've noticed, I never use the first or second take. It's always the third or fourth because it takes the artist. It's hard to perform in front of people because there's usually a bunch of people that, you know, they're friends or other people helping us behind the scenes. And to just perform a song in front of people, like, it's got to feel a little weird, you know? Like, I feel like they got to get more comfortable. So it usually takes like the third or fourth take. Then it gets cool. Like everybody gets more mellowed out. The stress leaves the body or whatever. Yeah. I like to do that first, and then I like to do one of just B-roll, or depending on what the video is. For example, we used that one. We used a lot of skating in the B-roll because we were at a skate park. Now you're gonna show like kids doing cool tricks and shit. Yeah. So that one, B-roll, was super easy for this music video because in the cars too, like the cars doing wheelies and shit, like that's perfect B-roll, you know. The hydraulics. For other videos, like the one for Billy Dale, we shot a lot of B-roll of people in dancing. Yeah, dancing by the pool, you know, doing crazy pool stuff. You definitely want to give a shout out if there's other people in there, you know, like other businesses and stuff that are like part of the video, since it's not a big budget. Like if you have like a budget and somebody's paying for it, of course you want to have that sponsor or whatever be in the video. Yeah. So yeah, like we go to one location, we shoot 2 or 3, 4 times the song, then we go to B-roll, then we go see what the next location is. I like to start editing as soon as I do the first one, so I put it into the timeline and I just kind of see how it looks, you know. Yeah. I've only done like one reshoot in all the videos that I've done where the lighting kind of sucked. I was like, we got to get better lighting. Yeah. Then once we do one location, then we could go to the next one. Once you already have 2 locations, you pretty much have a pretty good music video, because you could definitely just do it with 2 locations, add a bunch of effects, do some close-ups and some far shots, so you kind of like keep the people engaged. But what I noticed too is like you want to have as much as possible, even if they have to change the shirt, change an angle, or something. Those little elements, like those little details, matter within the music video. Like I remember you were telling like Billy, like, bro, we gotta have like a different shirt because for his last video, right? Yeah. Greatness and Veins, like
you had like two shots of, but it was like him with the same clothes. So you were like, oh, this is like you were adding a bunch of effects to it, and then you reshot, like you had him like shoot one more scene, but with a different piece, just for like those kind of things, little details, just like to change, to refresh, because like sometimes when you see the same thing over and over, like, oh, okay, I've already seen
people
it.
will click off. It's you're fighting with people's attention spans. We've talked about it before in the podcast. Like people, especially TikTok, bro. You open that, boom. You don't have to even scroll. Like you already have videos on as soon as you open the app.
Yeah.
And then it's just like people's attention spans. I think it was like 5 seconds. It's probably less now. So it's like you got to be changing every 2-3 seconds, like either graphics, different location, a filter, change it.
Yeah.
In this video, since there wasn't a lot of effects or filters, but I was changing it every like 2-3 seconds.
Right.
For a different location. Sometimes I let them finish the verse. I also don't want to cut them mid verse. So when you're editing, you're cutting to the beat of the song. So, it's just some details that you gotta work out. It takes a long time to edit videos. That's something that.
What's something like different that you would have changed from this whole experience? Like, what's something different you want to have done different now that we have it, already done, this music video? So, would you reshoot something? Would you shoot somewhere else?
Man, put me on the spot. But yeah, I think there's a couple things. One, we definitely needed drone shots. I ended up putting drone shots in the intro, but I mean, they're kind of recycled drone shots. Not a lot of people would notice, but I used these drone shots for a mayoral candidate. Somebody was running for the city of Indio.
Right.
And she wanted shots of the city of Indio, so I used some of those drone shots for this music video.
Okay.
It's mostly just in the intro. I wish I would have done more drone shots, but I also didn't. I don't know. I just never hit up a drone guy. Actually, I know a couple guys. I don't know. I feel like a drone shot would have been dope. Like a certain, especially with the cars. I think that would have been so cool. I feel like we just didn't plan that one enough. Drone shot with the cars. Another shot of Mills like in a car or driving a car or just like in the passenger seat. Maybe that red car because it was a convertible.
Yeah.
I think we needed a shot of Mills in one of the cars. And at the skate park, I wish I would have taken more lights because we didn't take any lights. We kind of just shot because it took forever to people show up. Like if we would have had a little bit better lighting, I think it would have looked a little bit better, but still look good, with all the skaters. So that would have been like something I would change. Kind of keeping everything the same, just adding either more equipment like lights, drones, things like that.
We never used a Ninja. So we have this little like it's like this big screen. We've had it, but we didn't use it. So we were just working. So we're mostly working with the A7 III, right? And we use this little like flip camera. But sometimes it's kind of hard to see, when you're working in the sun. That's one thing I wish we would have used this whole entire time. The Ninja.
Just that's true.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is. It's for better quality because you actually see things bigger. You're kind of seeing the shots. I feel like, I don't know, everything else was pretty cool. I liked it. I wouldn't change much besides those, just adding more stuff to it or different. Right. We're talking like different angles, a little bit more lighting, but I guess we learn. I want to over prepare for the next video. I felt we were just running and gunning sometimes too because everything was kind of last minute. But overall it was pretty cool.
You like the whole documenting thing, like the whole documentation while like we're filming.
Yeah. So this guy right here, he was walking around with the camera the whole time. We were recording the video or even just like prepping for shots. He was just next to us the whole time, just recording. And I thought it was awesome because it's the first time I've seen that. So we got so much footage. When I put it on the timeline, bro, it was like almost 2 hours. You recorded 2 hours of just behind the scenes footage. I kind of went through it. Some stuff was like nothing was happening. Things happened. But bro, like when I first did the first cut for that vlog, I think it was like 15 minutes of potentially usable footage. Like that's a lot for just behind the scenes, bro. It was awesome. And we have that forever, like we could save that stuff like 15, 20 years down the road. Like we don't know how big Mills is going to get. We don't know, we don't know. Even us just seeing ourselves young fucking filming. That's the type of shit that you just want to store forever and just kind of like make vlogs. You could make so much content from that, bro. Like that's content for months and you could show clients too now moving forward too. Like, hey, we could document everything and that's an extra service we could provide for people, because it's we live in a digital age, and yes, you could use your phones, but there's just still something different. Like when you see footage from a camera versus a phone, you could tell the difference.
Plus, like, you don't have that issue of running out of storage, because, like, let's say I have that problem. Like, whenever I film on my phone, it's like, bro, like, out of 15 videos that I film with my phone, it's like, bro, I'm getting that notification, iCloud storage.
Oh yeah,
full. Like,
it's
bro,
annoying.
it's annoying. So it's like, you don't. Yes, like phone, like the cameras are good and all, but it's like you don't want for professional work. You want to work with something, professional, and also like if you get hired to do a shoot, people are gonna see you more professional if you have like an actual camera.
Oh, professional cameras, yeah.
So it's night and day. I mean, quality is. It's night and day, to be honest. I mean,
yeah, you could definitely tell phone quality versus video camera quality. What's cool too is the whole professionalism. You show with 4 cameras to a shoot, everyone's like, "Oh fuck, these fools are recording from every angle." You got drones, you got the Ronin, the stabilizer, you got the main camera, you got a backup camera, shooting different angles, different lenses. Like it makes you look cooler. Now we got the screen, with the cage that's coming soon, and I don't know, it's getting there.
Yeah. Do you feel awkward filming in public? Because that's during the shoot, I think that's one of the things that I kind of got rid of, is that awkwardness, or that filming anxiety, I think, or just like being in public, or because it's like you're filming something, right? You're like kneeling down, or you're like bent, you're in some weird position trying to get that perfect shot. And then like, obviously you have a camera, like people see you, they're like looking at you. Like, do you feel weird? Did you ever feel weird? Or
I still feel weird all the time, bro. You see me when I try to make videos in public, I freeze. Like,
yeah,
I get more comfortable in the music videos because I know we're there to do something, like, okay, we're here. I got the gear. There's people with me. When I'm doing a vlog, that's when I get more nervous. Like going to Swami and just start fucking vlogging, like I get nervous, bro. Like I think you ease into it. The same thing as like when I said, like it takes artists 2-3 times to get the rhythm, but still, like I still get nervous to this day. Even just with my cell phone, if I'm in public and I'm making like a fucking Instagram post or a TikTok, I'm like, bro, I don't know. I gotta wait for people to not be looking and then do it. So big props to those YouTubers, bro, that just go and do crazy stunts and shit, like at Walmart and all that. Like, I don't know how they do that shit.
I think it's just the more you do it, the more like comfortable you get with it, because it's like you only see it like you see the camera as more of a, like, you kind of talk into it like if it's a person, and you just develop that, that awareness, like, okay, I'm making a video, that's it. If I could get a reaction from people, that's extra content. Like
I think being around more people, the content is better.
Yeah.
There's also like I don't know why we freeze up when we get in public.
I think it's just the fact that, like you're doing something that's abnormal. Like, yes, it's one thing if you're doing it with a phone, because you could be doing multiple things. You could be FaceTiming. You could be,
that's true.
Taking a picture of yourself, whatever. I mean, a lot of people take selfies now. But holding an actual camera and like vlogging, I mean, yes, it would make sense if it was like somewhere in LA or somewhere else, but
it's rare, bro. I never see anybody vlogging. That's what we gotta start changing it. We're gonna start getting more consistent with the content, making better vlogs. I've been, I guess, just taking courses because I want to get better. I've been doing videos for a long time, but I still struggle. There's a lot of stuff I don't know, like storytelling and shit. But it's like it's part of the growing process. And it's fun now. I get to see more people making content now. You could definitely see it. There's more challenges and stuff happening now. So gotta take advantage right now. This fall season is gonna be hot, bro. Everyone's gonna come in with music videos, competition. But I think that's good. We get to experience like
we have more opportunities, especially with everybody coming in. I mean, you got all the snowbirds too, so who knows? I mean, they might need filming.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we gotta get into corporate America a little bit. But I want you to explain to me why the hell. I know this is unrelated to what we're talking about, but why the hell are people like walking on top of crates and shit and eating and breaking their backs? What's going on with that crate challenge right now?
The crate challenge.
All over social media, bro. Like, I've been seeing nothing but videos of people like walking up to a pyramid like it's Mario, and then they get to the top and then they eat shit. Like, I've seen people break their legs, people land on their backs, people land on their necks. Like, I just don't understand. Well, where did that come from? What the hell's going on, bro?
To be honest, I don't know the origin of this challenge, but it's just one of those internet things. It's just, one person does it, another person does it. It ends up going viral. It's just one of those stupid things. Like, you can't explain the Tide Pod challenge. Like, obviously we know that's stupid.
Tide Pod?
Yeah, like, we've seen all these like challenges in the past, bro. Like, some like putting toothpaste under your eye, bro. Like, some of these challenges are just like
the lip challenge with the Kylie Jenner lips.
I don't want to say they set you. They're like, these challenges are mostly one for entertainment, because it's like they kind of set you up for failure in a way, like either by bringing some sort of pain or like just to make a fool out of yourself. And I mean, people, it's viral, bro. So it's like you just grow up naturally. Like, if somebody falls, you're gonna laugh.
Yeah. Or you see someone doing something dangerous, you're thinking, I'm gonna watch the rest of this video because I know this person's gonna eat shit or something.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna do something epic and survive it. So I've seen some people do some crazy ones, like at the gym, like these athletes.
Yeah.
Great balance and core, and some guy got to the top. He was doing curls and shit. I was like, I don't know, bro.
That's crazy.
Like, it's been interesting because out of nowhere I just started going on Twitter. I'm like, what the hell is this happening? And there's like threads of people just doing it. Like, there's one, a bunch of people like at a park or something,
right,
just surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of people, everybody with their phone, just recording, taking turns of people just falling and eating shit. Like, I thought it's pretty crazy. But are you gonna do that challenge, Brian? So we set it up. Should we set up outside? Let me go get some crates for you.
Fuck it. I mean, why not? I mean, I played a lot of Uncharted, so I've taken a lot of notes. I definitely play a lot of Assassin's Creed, so I think I got the parkour skills.
One thing's playing, another thing's getting in doing the challenge, bro. I don't know. I don't think you could survive that, to be honest.
So how does that work? So you just like stack them up like in a staircase, or you stack it up like in a pyramid? Like, what's the deal? So
what I've seen in the videos, so it starts with one crate, then it's 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. I don't know how far they get, but it's just like a bunch of them. You get to the middle, and then they go backwards. So it goes back to 1. So you have to step one level at a time, and the higher you go, the less stable it is. So you got to use your core. But I don't know. That shit looks dangerous as hell, to be honest. Like, I don't know why people are doing that. I know over there at the One Stop, they have hella crates. So
damn, it's doable.
We should do that tonight with the release the music video. We're gonna do a crate challenge. Winner wins a free taco.
Hey, bro, I have the red shirt. I have a mustache. You get to see Mario. We just need a flagpole, And just,
we should tell Eric do that shit outside as a challenge. Damn. No, but make people sign a waiver. So there's no liability. Because, definitely some people will eat shit for that one.
Yeah.
It's fun, though. Like, those challenges are cool. I remember... I mean, there's been a lot of different challenges. But, like, the Ice Bucket Challenge back in, like, 10 years ago. 2013. That Ice Bucket Challenge, everybody was doing that one.
Yeah.
Then we've done I don't remember the challenge. Tide Pod, I guess.
Tide Pod. That was a stupid challenge. I mean, I don't know. Like, why would you consume a Tide Pod like that? I don't know.
Hey, the internet, people do anything for clout these days, and it is what it is. I mean, people do get their clout.
Yeah.
And just try to be smart with it. Like, that crate challenge, one, if you survive it, cool, but what's the worst that can happen? Like, you're gonna break your neck, you're gonna break your knees and shit. I don't know. I don't think it's worth doing crazy challenges like that.
Yeah.
There's something like an Ice Bucket Challenge. The worst that can happen is you just get cold water,
or you slip.
You slip. But yeah, bro, like that crate challenge, I don't know what the hell's going on.
I don't know, man. It's just like, it's weird. Like, weird timing too. Like, bro, I saw this post from Felipe Esparza, the comedian. Yeah. He's like, bro, we went from Afghanistan to like, oh shit, like crate to a crate challenge. Like, what the heck? Yeah,
the whole Afghanistan shit. I mean, the internet moves so fast. Like, last week we're talking about the fall of Afghanistan, and it's still happening today. I mean, we're still kind of in turmoil. There was a clip from the Taliban. They asked him, like, what are you gonna do are you guys gonna be censorship like in the country?
Yeah.
And they responded like, "Oh no, that's you guys shouldn't worry about us censoring. You should worry about Facebook censoring." Like the Taliban's capping on fucking Mark Zuckerberg right now.
Yeah. Well,
Facebook been censoring everything, bro.
well, that's true, to be honest, because like they didn't even block them at all.
No, but they're literally like a legit government right now. And then I don't want to get too political, but someone I was watching a clip from this show called damn, it's not called Rising anymore. It's Crystal and Cigar. What's the show called now? Boiling Point? No. Shit, I don't remember. But anyway, they got a new YouTube channel. They used to be with The Hill. They left. They had a crazy... It's like a new show. She leans more to the left, and the guy leans more to the right. But they're neutral when it comes to most things. So it's a cool show because they give you both perspectives. It's not like super biased like Fox. You know it's going to be super right-wing, or CNN is going to be super left-wing. So this is kind of cool. Like, it's on YouTube. It's a show on YouTube. They have a podcast as well. Okay. And... they just make great content. Like I love listening to their stuff. So they made a good point. Like the Taliban, they're still on social media, but they banned former President Trump. Yeah. Like the whole Taliban is on social media, but President Trump's not. Like that's kind of weird. Bro.
That's weird. Like having, you don't ban a terrorist group, but you ban like the
former president. Like there's something wrong with that.
I think it's just the fall of like. American companies don't have traditional American values anymore. Like back then, in the 50s, it's like, you know, we're all American, and you know, I mean, that means different for everybody, right? But we all, like back then, I think the companies used to value like, hey, we gotta be for the people, not just think about everybody else. Like it was more about like Ford, you know, they hired a bunch of American workers to provide jobs for the American. You know, it was more about, you know, America, you know, like just having the value of backing up America and putting America first. And I think now with these companies, especially with these tech companies, I think it's just whatever fits their agenda, whatever fits their motives.
It's kind of weird because I feel like that's always been a thing. Like there's always been motives, and big companies have always had control of everything. Media, like it's all propaganda. But it's weird because you don't have to be crazy pro-American, like you were saying, like put America first type shit. But even like caring about simple things like the Olympics. Like I remember 2008, 2012, 2004. Like whenever the Olympics happened, people would rally behind all the Olympians. You know, there was no... Right now, this last Olympics, I feel like everybody was divided. There was people that wouldn't stand for the national anthem still, or like all this like crazy shit that's happening. That just like back then it was like, oh, USA's in the Olympics, cool. Let me root for them. Let's hope our home team wins. Right. And now I feel like a lot of people are even rooting for like the US to lose in certain things, and it's like doesn't make sense. These companies, I don't know what the agenda is. I don't know who's pulling the strings, but social media, like all the big corporate. Like Disney,
China got that money, bro. China has like these people under their wing, bro.
That's very true and very sad. So I didn't want to get into China, but yeah, it's true. Like Disney only makes movies that caters to the Chinese audience because they have 3 times as much people there, so the market is way bigger. They make all their money from China. You have Facebook and all these social medias that are banning like. A lot of people are attacking Trump, yes, because he said a bunch of crazy shit. And yeah, he deserves a lot of the hate. But he also was attacking China. That's another big thing. I don't know if people probably talk about it, but it's like his whole thing was like China this and downplaying China. And even with the Chinese virus and all this shit he was saying. Right. Because he was fighting against this corporation that's controlling all our corporations. Because nobody wants to lose business with China because they're profiting of manufacturing. They're profiting trade. Consumerism, they buy all our shit. Right. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like there was definitely interest with that.
Yeah, well, most likely, yeah, because he was public figure number 1. I mean, you're attacking like superpower, right? Number 2 superpower, and obviously that's gonna come with some contradictions. Like, you know, obviously, Amazon or Walmart, for example, they're a company that works a lot. Like most of their inventory.
I'm pretty sure they get a lot of products in China.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just one of those things, man. It's like
How's the WWE with China? Are they like?
Oh man,
I really don't know. I don't know
um,
much about that.
I've heard, I they used to do like shows. I don't know. I remember they did a one show. Wrestling isn't really. I don't. There are wrestlers that come from China, but it's weird. I haven't really heard too much about wrestling being big in China. It's mostly big in other countries like India, other Asian countries. India is obviously number one. I mean
Japan.
Japan for sure, like Europe as well. But yeah, I don't know about China. Speaking of WWE in China, John Cena. This happened.
Yeah.
John Cena had to apologize to China for acknowledging Thailand as a country.
Taiwan.
Taiwan. Yeah. Um, that's crazy. Like at the time he was filming, or they were coming out with the new Fast and the Furious movie, so I could see why he did it. Cause like, obviously it's a Fast and the Furious movie.
Oh, they were. I mean, the paycheck, bro. Like, I don't know how much he was risking. Maybe even Universal, like hundreds of millions of dollars. Because usually Fast and Furious movies, they make over $1 billion.
Yeah.
They make as much money as the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
Even though people hate on Fast and Furious and it's all about family and all that
Right.
bullshit. But it's because they're so profitable, because people in these countries, they love cars, they love hot girls, they love all
Yeah.
big muscular foods like fighting each other. They like that action stuff, like the generic action. And China was like, John Cena did an interview where he accidentally, or he forgot that Taiwan was a country. I don't know. But he ended up, I just remember him apologizing, speaking perfect Mandarin. I don't know if he speaks Mandarin, or I don't know if he had rehearsed the whole like speech, but that foot just went crazy. And then of course everybody just started trolling him because he kind of gave in. But wouldn't you give in to them if you're going to lose like $50 million?
Honestly, if I was John Cena, I wouldn't give a fuck. To be honest, because I mean, well, look. It wouldn't be about me, because I'm John Cena. I already, bro. I'm good.
Big
like
time, yeah.
I'm good, right? But I think it was more about like the studio,
Yeah.
and like the workers and the film. Like they would have lost a great amount of money.
They're already losing money because the pandemic, people don't go to the movies.
So it was kind of like you're walking on eggshells, man. Either you lose a bunch of money. I mean, it's tough, man.
It's
But
smart. It's interesting what you said though, because it's not about him. Like, what about royalties that like the editor and the fucking producer and all these other people that depend on like maybe their contracts depend
Right.
on the budget or the revenue this movie makes, and also like future. Like what if Universal wants to give John Cena, because he, spoiler alert, I guess the movie came out like 3 months ago, but he survived at the end of the movie, so that means he's still in the franchise. So if he would have fucked up, maybe they don't hire him back for another film. He loses that Fast and Furious franchise, which him becoming an actor he's still young, like he's barely been in the movie industry for the last, I think, 3 years or less.
3 years.
So he's barely a baby in the industry. You don't want to burn your bridges with the biggest companies when you're already given the roles of these big franchise movies. Like he was Fast and Furious, and then he just jumps right into the Suicide Squad, like just came out like that. He just went back to top budget, like the top of the game. So I understand why he kind of did it too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to burn bridges, but I just think he did it in that sense where it's like, one, he didn't want to burn bridges, but mostly he didn't want to affect everybody else's pay. I mean,
Let me ask you this thing now that we're talking about a little bit about wrestling.
oh, okay.
What do you think about CM Punk coming back?
I told you, bro. I told you. I don't know if it was the last podcast or the podcast before that. I had told you he was gonna come back. It made sense, bro. It made sense. Like Chicago, Illinois, AEW. This is by AEW Rampage. So this is like their AEW's like their SmackDown. I call it their SmackDown because Dynamite is their like their main show. It's like 3 hours long. This one is like, you get like 3 matches. The other one's like, I think like 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get some segments in between. So it's a longer show, but this one is more of like their
Fast pace, yeah.
fast pace. It's like you get 3 matches. It's more of like just a show. But yeah, this is their second show, and it's like their second show is held in Chicago, Illinois, which is, like I said, the biggest. Chicago, Illinois is by far like the best wrestling like city ever, because the crowd is just like, the people in Chicago, they just love wrestling, bro. Like they have they have a store, like the people over there, they just love wrestling. They consume it. They have like wrestling, they have this thing called Pro Wrestling Tees, which is like a website where wrestlers could publish their merch, and the headquarters is there, so it's like a big wrestling hub, store, you know, for wrestlers to make revenue. It's a website, but their headquarters are there. There's been a lot of great wrestlers that have come from Chicago, such as Cole Cabana, who actually started Pro Wrestling Tees. Shout out to him. And then CM Punk. So, like, CM Punk, for the longest time, he hasn't been wrestling for 7 years, bro.
7 years already?
7 years is... Bro, I was in elementary school.
Damn.
When like, the last time he wrestled. But in the middle of his promo, he was talking about, like, man, he was sick. Like, he had a passion. He said that in 2005, which was his last he has been in the independents. So in wrestling, you have independents, and then you have, like, you know,
sign with the big corporation.
Sign with the big companies, right? So for the longest time, he was wrestling in the independent scene, and then in 2005, he had signed with WWE. And then he said that in 2005, he had left professional wrestling because throughout his time in WWE, he had lost his passion of wrestling because he would have multiple injuries, and I guess they had, you know, they didn't care. WWE definitely has like a more of a corporate feel, and you gotta, like, for wrestlers to just have certain ideas and have, because in wrestling it's all about, like, having ideas, right, and sharing them out. But in WWE, you have to ask like 3-4 executives just to, like, have that idea put out. So it was more of like being controlled, and they
don't give you a chance.
They didn't give you a chance, right? If you don't fit the mold, like a guy like CM Punk isn't your stereotypical guy, you know.
Yeah, because I know I've heard Vince McMahon. He has a guy. So it's the Ultimate Warrior, big, giant, muscular guy. It's Hulk Hogan, just world beaters. The Rock, just a big dude. Steve Austin's big too.
Right.
You have Triple H, Batista. You know, like, it's always these, like, big, conquering Roman Reigns now. Goldberg. Like, that's the type of guy that Vince McMahon wants. But he wants these big, almost superhero-like characters.
But have you noticed that it's always the smaller wrestlers that the fans tend to connect the most? Again, CM Punk. No matter where CM Punk went, they love CM Punk. Why? Because he went against the grain, man. Like,
grassroots. Same thing with Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio,
HBK. He was always smaller.
Shawn Michaels, like you said, bro. It's always the smaller wrestlers because people love the underdog, man.
Yeah, and most people are Rey Mysterio body type versus Batista. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So you do connect more with the underdog. One, for the underdog story, and two, because maybe if I work hard, I'll be the next Daniel Bryan. But even if I work hard, I'm not gonna be The Rock. I'm not fucking a giant 6'6" fucking specimen, you know.
Man, but yeah, it's just seeing CM Punk back in the ring again, man. It just brings me back. Like, man, I used to watch this, man. It brings me a sense of nostalgia, and I'm young, so I don't have that sense of nostalgia that most people have. Like, most fans have. Like, they got to watch Stone Cold Steve Austin growing up, and then all of a sudden he makes a return. It's like, oh my god, I used to watch him when I was little.
Yeah,
now he's here.
I still remember when that shit was happening.
Like, man, and now seeing something like that, like, bro, it made me watch AEW. Like, when I heard CM Punk was like in AEW, I was like, man, I gotta watch AEW. So that's something that we predicted, I think, that it was gonna draw more eyes to the product of AEW, which is good because AEW, they use older wrestlers to showcase newer wrestlers. So Christian, he's an old guy. He's an older wrestler from WWE. but he's like managing a young talent such as Jungle Boy and the Jurassic Express. Matt Hardy, same thing. He's like managing. That's what I like about AEW, because you have these older wrestlers helping out these younger talent, giving
Getting
them advice,
exposure,
giving them exposure.
Oh, that's so sick.
So that's what I like. That's what I like. Even though it's like, oh yeah, 75% of the luck of their roster are like ex-WWE guys, but this is a good thing because it's like their competition now, and it's like forcing the two companies, WWE and AEW, to like give a better product. And I think that's what WWE needed for a
What
long
happened
time.
to TNA? Is that still around? Or
It's still around, but
that shit kind of died out. Or what?
one, Hulk Hogan went into the company, and same thing, Hulk Hogan got apart. Same thing that happened with WCW happened to TNA. Hulk Hogan got in control. Another guy, Eric Bischoff, he got in control, and it was more of like a battle of like egos, and he started like controlling things. It was just a bad thing. And TNA, or it's called Impact now, but it's more of like an independent show now.
Yeah.
But what I like about Impact is that they're working with AEW. So one of the things that AEW does is that they work with other promotions. So it's like a cross pollination. Like you have a champion from AAA going into AEW and like fighting the championship in that show. So it's like, one, it creates exposure to the other promotions. That's and the other wrestlers. So yeah, man, like you had Chris Jericho wrestle a wrestler he used to wrestle in WCW who wrestles like, he's a Mexican wrestler. I forgot. Juventud Guerrera. He's like a masked wrestler, but it's like, bro, like just seeing Chris Jericho wrestle him, maybe like makes you want to like watch the old wrestling from WCW.
I didn't like TNA or Impact Wrestling because they're goofy ass ring, bro.
They're goofy. You didn't like the Octagon?
No, not for wrestling. For UFC is fine, but like wrestling, you gotta have the 4 fucking. You know what I mean? Like I just couldn't. Even when Kurt Angle, I would watch it when Kurt Angle was there because
2006.
Kurt Angle, like he was one of my favorite wrestlers, machine, and I hate that he left WWE. But I would watch some of his matches just because he was just a legend.
Beast, bro.
But yeah, like I just don't like their little fucking ring, bro.
You know what though? I did like it for their X Division matches. The X where they had the cables on top. You don't remember those matches where they had like an X? It was kind of like their version of the Money in the Bank. I like those. That's how I discovered AJ Styles. AJ Styles, man. And this is like one of the arguments. Like I was going through my TikTok and I heard said like, oh, all these jaded wrestlers forget that they make their name off of WWE, and I agree to that at a certain point, because the main reason why people leave WWE is because they don't like the vibe. It's like they lose their interest because it's
their
like
passion,
their passion for wrestling. And what I like about home shows or just independent shows is that it's core, like it's actual wrestling, because wrestling is not just about moves, but it's about like when you give control to the wrestler, like they're able to showcase a persona of their own. For example, AJ Styles, he was a homegrown talent. He was known in TNA for the longest time. He developed his name without WWE. He went to Japan. He actually made his name on the independents. Then he went to WWE. And even though WWE gives you like the biggest name, right? That doesn't always mean that you're given success. You know, there's been multiple people that have been wasted, such as The Fiend. The Fiend is a perfect example of somebody that had creative control, but then you start adding creative from WWE and then they start fucking things up. Yeah. You know, which The Fiend, he left. He got released by WWE, which sucks.
Where's he at now?
He is a free agent.
Finn Balor's a free agent?
No, The Fiend.
Oh, The Fiend.
The Fiend.
Fucking
Finn Balor, he came back. But yeah,
I'm sorry, I was confused.
There's been
demon.
the Fiend. But there's been multiple wrestlers.
Well, I know he had a lot of like problem or some shit happened with him. But
yeah.
It's wrestling's differently.
It's a good time to be a wrestling fan. There's a lot of content. It's hard to keep up. I try to. You know, but it's definitely, whenever I get the chance to watch it, I try to, but it's a good time to be a wrestling fan. And like I said, having CM Punk back in wrestling is gonna bring more eyes to the product, which is cool.
Yeah,
Like I support that.
no, that's cool. I haven't kept up much. Like, I'll get back into wrestling when like Royal Rumble and shit comes
Yeah,
around. Like the main pay-per-views, WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I hate that WrestleMania was like 5 hours now and shit. Like, you literally have to set up your whole fucking Sunday just for that. It's just so long now.
like yeah, man. That's the thing is like sometimes I'll be watching and I'm like I gotta charge my phone. I gotta charge because I mostly watch wrestling through my phone. But yeah, it's just wrestling, man. It's weird because it's so fast paced. What I like about WWE is like their star power, but at the same time, I don't think they give enough time for them to develop the stories. You know, because it's like every month there's a pay-per-view, so it's like okay, but yeah, like you're building up a pay-per-view. I don't like that format. I really
It's too
don't.
fast.
It's too.
Back in the day, it wasn't as fast because it was a pay-per-view like 2 months. So the stories like progressed. You got to see more. Yeah, I don't know. It's some interesting times we live in, but yeah, I'm glad that you're kind of like excited about all this. You know, like that's like you said, the nostalgia. Like I used to love wrestling, and I kind of fell. I don't know.
What made you fall out of love with wrestling? Well, I mean, I don't want to say out of love, but what made you like not interested in wrestling no more?
One was like because I didn't have cable. That's literally the number one reason, bro. It was we stopped having cable, so I would never watch Raw or SmackDown or any of that shit. So all I did was stream like Netflix or play video games. So I just for 3-4 years I couldn't keep up with the storylines. And it wasn't as easy as it is now with like it was before the WWE network, before everything was streaming. So if you didn't watch the shows, like why would I watch the pay-per-view if I'm not even keeping up with what's going on a weekly basis? So I just kind of fell out of it. And then I got back into it because of the WWE network. I was like $10 and I get to watch all the classic wrestling. Yeah. So that was cool. 15, 16, 17. I was really into it around that time. So I got back into wrestling right after the Shield had first arrived. So I was doing research like who the fuck are the Shield, and then I watched like on YouTube like what happened with like the New Evolution and all that bullshit. So that was cool. Like Roman Reigns, I really liked him even though he was getting pushed, and then Daniel Bryan and all that shit. Like WrestleMania 30, that's when I was really into it. Like WrestleMania 30 and 31, and then by like WrestleMania 32, 33, I don't know what happened again. To be honest, maybe I just got too busy with other stuff or work or like maybe more making videos. I don't have time, but I don't know. Those, so I haven't really kept up with the last like 3 or 4 years. Right. So it's been. Yeah. I don't have an answer for that, but just I'm still a fan like from afar.
Yeah. You appreciate it from as a medium and stuff like that, which is cool. I mean, honestly, whatever. The reason why I say it's a good time to be a wrestling fan is because now you have these big names. Like it took something like this moment, or it kind of forces these promotions now. Like AEW is a 2-year company, so they're still relatively young. Yeah. But within their first year, they went through a pandemic. And bro. They were like same thing like the sports, like wrestling they did wrestling with no crowd. It was the weirdest thing, bro. Yeah. They did WrestleMania in the Performance Center where they train all the wrestlers.
That shit was weird.
It was so weird, but I mean, whatever, they had to adapt somehow. I mean, like WWE started releasing a bunch of wrestlers, which
times are changing now. We have I don't know, with like social media, like I feel like wrestlers could create their own following without having to rely on it. But then again, it is too much going on at the same time. But like, it's just like its own community. You know, wrestling's a huge community. You have like different communities. Some people are into fucking Bitcoin. Some people are into football. Some people like baseball, like hardcore baseball fans. Some people love soccer. It's just a sport. It's a part of entertainment. Because even sports, because people don't like to consider wrestling or take it as serious as regular sports because it's staged. But even sports, like they don't mean shit. Like we saw the pandemic, like nothing matters. Everything got shut down. It doesn't matter. It's all entertainment at the end of the day. Yeah, nothing actually matters besides like your family. Or friendships and all that shit. So at the end of the day, it's all entertainment. It's all for distractions, and whatever people like, just let them have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. At the end of the day, it's an art form. So
you know, it's physical. It takes mental You gotta remember all those storylines. Have you seen that South Park episode about wrestling?
No.
There was I think they joined wrestling in because they're all in elementary school. So they saw a flyer like, oh, wrestling after school, whatever, and they're like, oh my god, like they're all into WWE.
Yeah.
Oh, there's wrestling, and then they show up to wrestling, and it's like two kids just on the ground on top of each other, like with the singlets and shit.
Oh,
they're like, what the hell is this? This is not wrestling. He's like, what do you mean? This is wrestling. No, this sucks. Let's start our own wrestling. And then they start their own wrestling like in the backyard. And then they don't even wrestle, but it's like storylines like, oh, you've gone through 17 abortions and this and that. Like, because, half of WWE is the whole storyline.
Yeah.
So then they start getting like huge crowds. And like the whole time it's just them like talking and
just arguing.
Yeah, just making storylines.
Man, I actually joined wrestling in high school. I knew it was amateur wrestling. But it's just like growing up, like, oh, like I know some holds and whatnot. So I was like, I actually joined wrestling. So I actually have like a first-hand experience. Like I was stupid. I was a freshman, so I was stupid. I was immature. I was thinking like, man, my first official wrestling match, I'm gonna come in with the Rey Mysterio mask and a cave and just have like this fancy entrance. I don't know. That's what. And like I told that to my coach. And he was like, "You're stupid." I mean, he wasn't wrong, but
that shit happens right now. I mean, it's just like, see, that's why you don't join wrestling. That shit is just, that's something else, bro. But yeah, right now we're gonna get ready for Mills and everybody showing up to the food party. We're gonna do a release party for the music video. So if you're listening to this, the music video's out. I'll put the link in the description. Check out the 760 official music video, Mills the Gawd. Thank you guys for listening to this podcast. We got other heats coming soon. We got Anna B. Girl from the Heat interview that we just did. So can't wait for you guys to watch that. And another podcast later this week with Amadeus. So it should be a fun month.
Tune into our content, man. Like we're always got something up our sleeve, whether if it's vlogs, whether if it's videos, on Angel's channel, podcasts as well. We're always documenting, we're always creating. So tune in.
Yeah, excited. Thank you guys make sure you guys like and subscribe. And then give us a 5-star rating if you're listening on iTunes and Spotify. And we'll see you guys next week for another episode.